Hey there. Good morning. I've tried this intro 3 times now. Hopefully this one is good enough. It's now 8:23 on Friday, the 26th. Oh, sorry, what am I talking about? Friday. What am I on about? Monday, 26th, the 1st. 1st is January 2026. Good morning. And I'm trying to do a little bit more of a professional introduction. Now, I should have a segment or a recurring theme for the first shot of the day, every day. And I think this is what it's going to be. It's going to be called How Am I Feeling? Hooray. So every day I'll try to answer this question. How am I feeling? Today I'm feeling glad that I got such a good sleep. When I closed my eyes last night, everything from everything is all the different filters in my mind just filtered down until I was just very at peace, and I got a good night's sleep. Now I've woken up and I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do today. I'm still trying to make up my mind as to whether I should sell this house. I'm very, 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 very tempted to do so, just as a way to create some change in my daily life. Now, there are some other things that I could do to create change in my daily life. One of them that I've done recently is starting this vlog. I do think that is a good way also to create change in my daily life. It also gives me a focus, a thread of consistency that is with me throughout everything that I do. However, when it comes to moving somewhere else that I'd like to be, the only way that's going to happen is if I get on with it and do it. And that is what I'm reluctant to do. Because of the effort that it takes to move, I have to convince myself that it will surely be worth it to sell my house and to move to a different area where the possibility of a fresh start and me being more happy is there. Now, that's what I thought when I moved to this place originally. So, I am aware that I could end up in the same position again, not enjoying where I am. And so, for this reason, I actually think I may be better off renting than I am buying again. Because that means when I want to move, I can do so. However, the rent prices are so high, and I have the money to buy if I sell this place. So that would be more straightforward, and then hopefully not require any monthly payments at all. Now, there's always going to be some kind of monthly payments that people ask for. Even if you buy a flat now, there can often be a service charge for the building. If it was a good building, then I would understand. So, what I was recommended to do was to get a job to finance any other charges that are made and are required to get paid. However, I don't necessarily want to get a job of any kind. I do obviously wish to have more money through some way of getting that, something, some way, but not necessarily a job. There are some jobs that I would consider doing if it was a job that I felt some kind of interest in and would like to do anyway without getting paid. Then there's a chance that I could start doing that job. However, the pay for me to actually do that would have to be incredibly good. And even then, I'm not sure that I would agree to it. I like to be able to do whatever I want to do on a constant basis, and anything that I come up against that stops me from doing whatever I want to do will discourage me from continuing to do whatever it is that I now don't want to do, even if that is making me money. And so, there's no amount of money that I could be paid or offered that would make me stop doing what I want to do. I'm always going to do whatever it is that I want to do, no matter what, and nothing is going to stop me. So, if I were to come across money in some way or an opportunity, I would have to feel as though there is no possibility of me saying no to that opportunity or to that money, which is not something that happens very often. Now, I'm not really going out there looking for opportunities of any kind. I could, and I have before, when I've been motivated to look for work, I've gone out and I've looked for jobs very often and gone to lots of different places and asked them if they're looking for anybody to work there. I would never do this directly for the money. Although, if I'm paid, then obviously I would accept this pay. But the reason that I would do this is because I have an interest in engaging in the process of doing whatever job it is that is available in that place. So there are lots of positions available in many different places, but I have to understand what it is that I really want in order to know what it is I'm going to do. And I really think the only thing that is going to suit me is doing something that gives me the maximum amount of freedom possible, because I do not actually really function without feeling as though I have a free choice to do whatever I want at any given moment. So, knowing this, that means there's lots of things that it would be possible for me to do, which I'm most definitely, most probably not going to want to do, because they're not really falling into the thought process or understanding that I have that would allow me to go ahead and actually do that. Now, the more that I broaden my mind towards different ideas, I can become more and more susceptible to taking on board these ideas and considering them as possibilities. But I will always have to remain 100% in control of my ability to choose to do at any given moment what it is that I want to do. And this will ultimately result in me finding perfect opportunities that totally correlate with exactly where I set my standards. I'm sure they are most definitely available to me. I really do believe that there are many, many, many different, or not different. I believe that there is one storyline to my life that I am following, and this means when I follow this thread of narrative, that I find everything goes perfectly to plan, just exactly the way it is supposed to. And having followed this thread, this single thread for my entire life, I've become aware that there is no other option but the one that appears before me as looking like the only way to go. And so, because I have this experience and this trust and this faith, this means that everything that happens to me, I believe, is in some way right and what I would call what I would call I'm not sure what the word is. Basically, I'm a follower and I'm following along the path of consciousness what is happening in my everyday existence and hopping from one place to another, thinking freely in every moment and deciding what it is that I'm going to do by following my instinctual responses as to what I would like in each given moment. And by doing this, I have aligned myself with a position of continuation that has provided me with great success in the past. And so I know that all I have to do is follow this singular thread without looking at all the options that are available and really focusing in on this concept of one thought at a time, seen through, carefully followed, and seen to completion. This method is the way that all good things seem to occur. So when it comes to knowing what to do and finding opportunities, I actually believe I don't need or want to find opportunities at all. In fact, all I have to do is continue to do whatever I want to do at every moment. And that itself is the opportunity that most aligns with my goal and my desire in life. Of course, my goal and my desire in life primarily is to be to be satisfied by who I am in this present moment. That is my only real goal. And so to do that, that means not planning what it is that is ahead, but following how I feel until I come across what is meant to be found. So it's following an intuitive process that is not connected to a logical way of thinking. So, to some people, this may look like not having any kind of plan whatsoever is not a good thing. But all the plans that appear come up in on the screen of consciousness just as this singular thread that I follow and read along the lines of. And this is a very easy thing to do. To do this really, genuinely stops a person from having all kinds of anxiety and mania and nervousness, because I know at every given moment I know exactly what I know exactly what I should say. I know exactly what I should do, because I'm just following along, reading from the book of consciousness, my mind, and I trust absolutely that this book is 100% the only way, and it will give me more fruitful and joyous discoveries by following this thread than it will doing anything else at all. As if there are other options available, which I see as being just thoughts, just noise. So that's me. I'm still figuring out where I'm going to go or what I'm going to do and how I'm going to make my fortune. Because that is absolutely my goal now. Freedom has to mean financial freedom, because that means having the ability to go where you want to go, having the ability to do what you want to do. That's what I would like to do more than anything. I have one house. I'd like to get another house. I'd like to get another house in a nicer neighbourhood, in a place that I'd really like to live. And I'd like to do that by my own choice, at my own pace, without any pressure to do so. Now, I'm sure that this ability to be able to do this will become available. The ideal option for a place that I would like to live is absolutely 100% London, specifically and likely Camden Town, although there are other areas that I would absolutely consider if presented with possibilities for being there. Now, this goal is, of course, realistic because every goal that is related to an increase in finances is always realistic. It just takes attempting to figure out exactly what to do in order to reach that goal and get the life that I want to live. At this point, I really feel as though I'm done with the area I'm in. There's no satisfaction anymore in being here, and I've explored everything there is in great detail. And so now the excitement for me has gone. Now, London is a place where the excitement for life is constantly alive in the most beautiful way. It brought me to tears last time I went there, considering what it is that I love about that place. Just being there is like a drug. It's very, very addictive because of the vibe. Now, it's not where I would want to be all of the time, and of course, my ambitions to engage in creative projects also take a firm place in my thought processes just as much as having a stable place to live. Now, I know that if I'm in London, the chances of being involved in creative projects that appeal to me in some way are greatly improved because of the number of people that are there who are looking to do a variety of different creative projects, which I could see myself most definitely getting involved with if I felt the urge to connect on a creative level with another group of creative people who are doing something that I find interesting enough to want to be a part of the mix with them. If there were more situational possibilities like this in the area I'm in, I would more than likely take the opportunity to get involved in those. But I know, with one thing leading to another, I would more than likely still reach the point where I want to leave this area and I want to go to the place where all the money is and where more people are and where the vibes are better and where people are more satisfied by their daily life experience. And the number one place that occurs that stands out to me is London. So nothing is going to change in terms of my way of thinking based on the ability I have to find opportunities in this local area, which, of course, I can and I do and I will. And it will have to be through finding opportunities that are closer to me that I can step by step move closer and closer towards that goal, which for me is being involved in creative projects in the city which is the heart of the UK. And I have always wanted to be in the heart of wherever the action and the greatnesses of life are happening. So whenever I get into a way of thinking about what it is to do or where it is to go or how it is to be, I will always find myself gravitating strongly towards the centre of everything, where all possibilities exist and all opportunities are present. And there is always going to be one place specifically where it seems to be that everything happens there. I've been in that place enough times now to know that it is a transformative experience just to be there. And you will not leave being the same person as you were when you came. So if you are looking for great change in your life, often all it will take is to go straight towards whatever it is that most gravitates your heart, your soul, your mind through the felt sense of its pure and beautiful brilliance. So, this is the natural way to live, is to follow in every moment your real and deep, most inner thoughts which come from the place of the the highest the highest heaven within you, which sings to your ears and takes your heart away to newfound beauties and brilliance. It's always possible to go further and further and further away from what you know and into a discovery of something that will change your life in every way and make you feel as though you are better than you've ever been before. So, this is what I was talking about when I said that I'm following the thread and I'm turning the page and I'm just going through the book of consciousness, which is the story of who I am as it is being written by me, the author. And this path, which is so simple to walk down, one step at a time, I'm reminded is the way that I have been more than any other way I've ever been. I have done just this one simple exercise, which is following my heart in its every desire, as I am led by the leader of life itself. And this man gifts me all of my life's experiences just so I can see and know exactly who I am in my every dimension of existence. I've been before through this process of following the leader of life so many times, and I know now that leader is my own self, my heart, my highest self that already exists, calling me into its own presence in order to fill me up with love and abundance and joy and blessings. And the more I go with that calling, that inner calling, the more I find new reasons to carry on, because the exploration itself is so rewarding, so meaningful, and gives me everything that I'm looking for in every moment. Now, what more could you want than that? To get everything you need, everything you want, and more, and to feel complete, and to continue on with enthusiasm, engaged in the exploration of all that exists. Is there a better life to live than this one? If there is, I would like to know so that I can swap out my own. But there may not be anything better at all. Because I've seen so clearly the way in which I was led before into the situations and circumstances of life that blessed me with great understanding and beautiful experiences. The memory of this is all I need to fuel me in my continuation. And I now know really that where I'm going is already made up. So, I think it's time for me to go out. It's 11:08 a.m. I've not been outside at all today. So, I think I'm going to go walk about a little bit, see where I end up, and just get this body moving. I got a vague idea that I might go somewhere in particular, but that could always change, and it always does. I always end up somewhere completely different to what I would have expected to have done, and completely other to where I would have expected to go. That's just the way my life is, unpredictable and brilliant and beautiful. And I don't want it any other way. I'm not trying to change that. I like the way that I live my life, and if I'm okay with it, I guess why does it matter if anyone else says anything at all? Which they don't. So I think I've got some change in my pocket or some money somewhere. So I'll probably grab a couple of energy drinks on the way, as it appears that I now usually do. If you watch my videos consistently, you will have noticed that is exactly what I do pretty much every single day. In fact, it may have actually been every single day that I've videoed so far. That's exactly what I've done, is I've gone and I've grabbed some energy drinks from the shop. So, I'm gonna head out right now. So, I'm heading to the shop now. I'm gonna get a couple of energy drinks and then just have like a walkabout, see where we end up. Got up pretty early this morning. Didn't get like a very long sleep, but was quite refreshed by the amount of sleep I did get. I'd say it was a very good quality of sleep, and woke up feeling pretty good really. So no complaints so far today, for a change. So what I've been doing this morning has been basically just watching a 2-hour long video of Alex O'Connor with unsolicited advice. They just put out a podcast talking about the kind of things that they talk about. It's philosophy, you know, exclusively, basically. There's a huge range of like different philosophies that they talk about. And it's a really great conversation. I think this, but I'm not sure, is that it's basically like a new thing that they've started doing together, because they both have their separate YouTube channels, but now they've sort of partnered up to make something together, and it's pretty good. Alex did quite a lot of the talking compared to Joe, but it wasn't uninteresting. He does go on a bit sometimes, but I was actually very absorbed in what they were talking about. For I'd say a good hour and a half, I was literally following every single word with my full attention. So fair play, well done to him for keeping that retention. Managed to retain my attention, and that apparently is what I think retention means, is to retain attention. That's what I think it means. I actually have no idea. So yeah, just gonna nip in the shop, then I'm gonna take a stroll down into town and see what's going on. Okay, as per usual, got 2 of these bad boys. So those guys, Alex and Joe, I'll just say what I said before, I repeat the names. It's Alex O'Connor and Unsolicited Advice. Those are the names of the channels, but Unsolicited Advice is Joe, and obviously Alex is Alex O'Connor. But yeah, they say a lot of stuff that I don't actually know what they're talking about. I don't actually know what they're referring to when they refer to like different schools of thoughts, and they use the specific name to describe what it is they're talking about. There's so many of them that I can't possibly know them all. I do know some of them, but it's not to say that just because I don't understand, I don't sort of enjoy listening to the conversation, because I absolutely do. And it's only through really the repetition of the name of a concept that you become familiar with its existence. And you obviously have to hear about something so many times before you start to really question, well, what is that, you know? And that's how you start to find out sort of what it is. But I think there's a phenomenon with these philosophical concepts, is that there's an idea of like what it is that people propose, but it's the question of really how do you claim ownership over ideas, or how do you put them into categories? And I guess people do that when they see someone talking in a particular way or describing a certain pattern of thinking. That's how they ascribe a label to that of which school of philosophical thought does that come under. But I think people make up basically their own sort of interpretations of what those categories actually are. So it's not like a universally agreed upon set of phrases or group of words that sort of accurately describe something in a way that's unchanging, you know? But I wouldn't like to be boxed in with like words that or you know, descriptions of any kind that leave you with no room for personal interpretation, because it's almost like people are then saying like, you're not allowed to play with these concepts, you're not allowed to rearrange them, you're not allowed to have your own versions of them, you're not allowed to show your own thoughts and feelings about them. Which, of course, that's the only way that these sorts of ideas develop, is through people adding their own personal interpretations, and then that taking on, and then those concepts taking on more meaning as a result of multiple versions of interpretation, instead of becoming what some people think it is, which is more diluted. I think it adds more, if anything, rather than taking away from it. Anyway, so I'm nearly in town. I'm just going to go see what's going on down there. And then just keep getting more shots ready. That's the idea. Enjoy these energy drinks and probably end up seeing someone and getting into some kind of conversation of some kind. It's pretty chilly today. There's not too many people around. Streets are fairly clear. Could well be that the cold is keeping people indoors. However, it does not have that effect on me at all. I like to get out in the cold just as much as I like to get out if it's warm. I just like to get out and see the life being lived. Not the life's not being lived indoors, but not quite in the same way. It's much better outside. We are just animals. We are just animals, really, aren't we? So we have to get out and about and just run around, thinking like the foraging part of our brains which evolved over such a long time, and we're still engaging with that. Thinking about going to the library again. There is free tea and coffee, which, you know, it's free, quote unquote, but we do really pay for it with our taxes, council tax, as you do for the rest of the services in the library. So yeah, I've just been through like what I would argue is quite possibly the worst town centre in all of the UK. It really is horrendous. It needs a lot of work. The people need a lot of intellectualizing and a lot of enlightenment, and it's really not going to happen anytime soon unless someone really does something about it. Right now it's just so incredibly, dreadfully grim. Like the actual sort of felt sense of like what it's like to actually walk through the town centre. When you see the people, I mean, I just take one look at these like people and just think idiot. I just think donut. I just think moron. And they just need some kind of meaningful work. It's like there's a shared felt sense of a complete lack of purpose. And looking back at the history of like of this place, the actual word itself, it means the peasants' clearing. So it used to be just a clearing in in the woods or something, where basically a bunch of peasants lived. And that really tells you everything you need to know about this place. There's a peasant mentality, a peasant way of thinking. People who seem to have no ambition, no goals, no aspirations whatsoever. And it's so incredibly disheartening to be surrounded by that on such a constant basis, especially when I'm so incredibly motivated to achieve and to perform and to improve in life. Like every day I see as just an opportunity to just get better and better, explore more, find out more about the world around you. But these people here, they really have basically no ambition. They just go around in circles, and they're just incredibly stupid people. It seems very, very common here for people to just be complete idiots, basically. And it makes it a dreadful place to actually live. Had a quick look in the library. It's pretty dreadful in there today. Bad vibes, stupid people, morons. There's no point wasting my time on that kind of there's people who literally aren't smart enough for me to actually even bother talking to them. I know these people. I know who they are. I know all their past. I know all their histories. They're not nice people. They're not clever people. Like I was saying before, got no ambition, no drive. It makes for quite a hopeless sort of place. And you have to be quite an idiotic person to actually think like that. To think in a way where you have no sort of idea of what you're going to do with your life. You have no sort of potential for a future that is great. It's like, you are an absolute fucking idiot. I have no interest in talking to you whatsoever. That's what most of these people are like. Just stupid people. I have no interest in talking to them. It would just be a waste of time, really. And it's like that everywhere here. You're just surrounded by absolute idiots. It's like, it really is, understandably, it was voted the least happy place in the UK. And I can see exactly why, because I'm the least happy person thinking about what a shit place this is, and how stupid the people are, and how it just seems to be constant and endless. It's like, you see an idiot, you go, oh, there's an idiot. Next thing, there's another idiot. There's another idiot. There's another idiot. And there's another idiot. There's so many idiots. And you could ask, like, okay, well, what's your definition of an idiot? And I think that's exactly what it is. An idiot is someone who's not utilising or applying their intelligence in any meaningful kind of way, leaving them with no hope for a future of any kind, and meaning there's a general attitude in the area where people seem to be completely lacking ambition or drive to actually succeed, to actually achieve anything, to go anywhere in life. And the only smart people that come here are the people that leave. It's like they're the only ones that actually have any ambition whatsoever to do anything. Because if you have any ambition at all, you just leave this place. Because there's nothing to find here at all. It is truly a shit place, and I would really like to see someone or a group of people actually make a concerted effort to try to make improvements in this local area. Create something that makes this place a worthwhile place to be, a worthwhile place to stay. Right now there's nothing. There's literally nothing. It's that shit. And without changing it, there's absolutely no way that I'm going to stay here at all. Like I said, there's just, you're just coming up against complete fucking idiots constantly, and I'm just constantly questioning, like, is this worth the effort that I'm making? Because I'm going out every single day and making an effort to try to spread like a positive message, try to spread the word, and try to cultivate and collect like a group of people that actually want to make an effort to make this place better, to actually change it for the better. And no one else seems to be really on board with that. Maybe every now and then you'll find the odd person who actually wants to do that. But yeah, the overwhelming majority of people are really not employing their brains whatsoever. So I don't really know what to do, to be honest, apart from, like I was saying, just get rid of this house, get another one, go somewhere else, get out of here, stop wasting my time, and go somewhere that's actually nice, where people are actually okay, instead of just hanging about all these fucking idiots, just surrounded by morons. It's a complete waste of time. It really is. I mean, I'll find an escape one way or another to somewhere a bit better. Obviously, I've got like actual major ambitions for my life. You know, I'm 32. Not that age matters when it comes to having ambition. I think you can create and cultivate ambition at any age. But it'd be great to see more people who actually have even just a little bit of ambition, people who actually want to achieve something, people who actually want to do something with their life, and not just these wasters who just go around in circles. There's so many of them around, they're just everywhere. So I've become hypercritical to the point where I've no interest in talking to anyone. I just want to get out of here. That's all I have an interest in doing. Go somewhere that's actually nice. Go somewhere where there's actually nice people. Otherwise it's like banging your head against the wall. You know, they say that it's crazy to just keep doing the same thing and expect different results. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Just doing the same thing again and again every day, thinking something will change. And I'd like to hope that eventually it will. But nothing seems to be happening right now. It's just a repetitive cycle of seemingly endless bullshit. And I have no interest in that whatsoever. I really don't. But then what do you do when you're sort of feeling trapped in that way of life that seems to just continue whether you want it to or not? I'm not really sure at this point. Apart from the same recurring thought that keeps reappearing over and over again, which is basically just get the fuck out of here. There's too many idiots. I have no interest in talking to any of them really, and that's the issue. Is if I had an interest in talking to people in the area that I lived, then there'd actually be a chance of making something happen that would seem like an improvement for that area and for those people. But I just take one look and I'm like, no interest whatsoever. So what's going to happen in that situation? Does that just mean that I just stay silent? I mean, I'm not going to do that, am I? That's not really in my nature to just say nothing, keep quiet, and just carry on, get on with life. I'm always going to be saying what I think, saying how I feel, whether it's to someone or whether it's to no one. But there really needs to be improvements. Basically, the number one thing I would say that needs to change is there has to be some social structures put in place that actually encourage people to talk to each other, because no one's talking to each other right now, and it's such a crying shame. There's no sense of community whatsoever. It's just people just going about their business, all completely disconnected. There's no like stop in the street for a chat. There's no like groups to meet up and you know, talk about what they want to do creatively, how they want to make something. You know, there might be some of this stuff going on. Like, I did hear about an art group of some kind, but it has to be far more integrated into the culture that's actually surrounding us for anyone to even pay attention to it. Otherwise, if people don't know about it, how are they going to get involved? No one's going to get involved. They're going to be too busy doing whatever they're doing, and so they're not going to bother. So I think I'll get there eventually, and like, so will the people. Like, I still have hope for them. There's obviously still a chance of resurrection, but right now it's not looking like a realistic possibility anytime soon. It's going to take a hell of a lot of work, and I'm not sure that either I or the people people surrounding are actually dedicated to doing what needs to be done to making it better. It would be great to see that happen. Like I said, do I actually think it's going to happen? I'd like to hope so, because I really don't want to give up on hope for thinking that there's a possibility of an improvement, because there definitely could be. But there's so many fundamental changes that need to be made in the basic structures of how they do literally everything right now in this area. I mean, it comes down to just the basic attitudes of people, how they think, how they prioritise their experiences, what they're hoping to achieve in their lives. They need to actually come up with a goal, something they want. Otherwise, it's just going to be this place where people just go around in circles like idiots, and that's what it's like right now. Circles, going round and round and round, buying more food, wasting your life, not achieving anything, just being an idiot, becoming more of an idiot. I mean, really, what's the point in that? This is what people refer to as just useless eaters, you know? All they do is walk around, eat food, go home, never even have like a meaningful conversation of any kind, never aspire or never find any ambition to actually do anything with their lives at all. And there's so much good that you can do with your life, and I really encourage you, don't waste it. Actually make something of yourself, actually aspire to achieve something, actually focus on getting better every single day at whatever it is you're interested in. Work hard, and then eventually you will actually see the results. That's another issue, is no one's even willing to work. They don't want to do anything apart from apparently just wander around, eat food, sleep, wake up, repeat, stuck in that cyclical existence. This kind of attitude is just rampant and incessantly apparent. I mean, it's all around the north, really. I'm seeing this constantly. If I go down to London, I don't see any of this. There's loads of ambition, there's loads of drive, there's loads of people who are excited about life, there's loads of people who are trying to achieve creative goals, there's loads of people who are making art, there's loads of people who are writing, making music, there's people who are actually doing things. And you just think, well, they're not losers. Like, there's just losers everywhere here. They have no lives, they do nothing, they waste all their time, and they just go around in circles, buying more food, doing the same thing over and over again. What a waste of life. Please don't waste your life. You're worth so much more than that. Anyway, I'm gonna sit down now and drink this energy drink. My hand's getting a bit cold because of this flipping holding this camera, but it's so much better having the camera than not, you know? So many dipshits. I'm gonna re-energize with an energy drink. And then think about where I'm gonna go. Library seems like a total waste of time. Low energy, not positive vibes at all. But it's literally basically impossible to find any positive vibe whatsoever in this absolutely disgustingly horrible shit. crappy town, if you want to find something good, and this is where you live, you have to go somewhere else entirely, because it really is that bad. They're fucking everywhere. The worst kinds of people you can imagine. Horrible, horrible people. The thing is, like, it's not even funny, it's actually sad. It's actually quite sad just how bad it really is. I'm not ranting nor raving anymore. Now I'm just calm again. You know what? I was just saying to someone. I was just trying to chat with someone that I know. I was just saying, it's been such a long time since I've ended up just like stood about by myself. That's what I was just doing before. I went to the library and I left. And then I got a can of Monster from Booths, and then I just stood there outside Booths and I just drank this can of Monster. I was just stood about for about 10 minutes, and I haven't done that for such a long time. It's just stood there, just sort of hanging about by myself. So it feels like really unusual to do that, but it also feels so incredibly normal and comfortable. Like I used to hang out by myself way more than I have done for the last few years. Like for the last few years, I'm pretty much always with someone, or if I'm not with someone, I'm going to go look for someone. But now since I've started doing this video, I'm just spending more and more time by myself talking to the camera, but it just feels so it just feels so completely refreshing to like just be like stood there just hanging out again, like I used to. I used to do that so much, and it actually keeps it interesting when you don't spend all your time with your mates or with people, your family, your friends, whoever it is that you spend a lot of time with. I think it's a great thing to actually get enough time off and away by yourself and enjoy your own company. Why not? I really don't care anymore. It's like the things that actually give me satisfaction, I'm not gonna like, I'm no longer gonna think there's anything anything about that shouldn't be that way, you know. I think it's a-okay. It's just alright. So I'm gonna go to Morrison's and take a piss. TMI, too much information, but it's the truth. That's what I'm doing. I'm not sure whether I'm going to use my big long ranty shot from earlier, where I was banging on about, like, moaning about stuff. I'm not sure I'm going to put that in the vlog. It was a bit too negative. I just want to keep the positive stuff in, really. So if it's not there in this video, I did like a really long rant where I'm just complaining about things and people and stuff just over and over again for ages. So if it's not in, then that's why I took it out. It was too negative. Damn, today has been so great so far. Just left Morrison's. I'm going to be heading home. I'm going to warm up a bit, chill out, and maybe read a book. I'm not sure. I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want to when I get in the house. But it's going to be nice just to warm up a bit. It's been freezing cold out here. So yeah, today's been great so far. It's not over yet, but I've really gone back to like a mental place of peace again, and I'm feeling good. I'm very, very thankful to be feeling so good again. I really do feel like my luck has turned around recently, and now I can see like a real positive future ahead of me. Which for a while, man, I got so incredibly bogged down in other people's negativity. Oh, I may have just created a new acronym. OPN. Okay, OPN. Other people's negativity. OPN. New acronym. If you're interested in acronyms, there's one for you. Other people's negativity. OPN. So yeah, for ages, for such a long time, oh my god, Jesus Christ, I've been so like dragged down by other people's negativity that I almost became like a reflection of them, and was, you know, started thinking like them, talking like them, just being negative about my life. And before that, I was so positive. I was so like, I was so motivated to go out and live life because I thought there was great things coming, and there have been. You know, there have been lots of great things. I'm sure there's loads of great things, loads more great things to come. So I'm not even going to dwell on that too much, because that's just going to continue that same cycle, you know. So from now on, I'm really looking forward to moving forward with like real optimism, and I'm going to start feeling good about myself again, giving myself a chance, not be so hard on myself, and to just keep playing the game of life, and just to see where it goes. And if I feel like I'm needing to like separate myself from anyone in particular, I think I have to remember that I should take as much time out and as much time away as it takes to just reinvigorate my own positive attitude away from those people, by myself, because it really can be done, and you really don't need anybody else to generate some sort of positivity in life. And actually, it's quite easy to do that by yourself. I mean, if another person actually compliments how you're doing in some way, then obviously they're worth giving them some time. But if you could actually just go away and just spend time alone and feel better than you did with another person, why would you waste your time and energy on a situation where you stop being so positive and you start thinking really critically and negatively, you know? There's no point in doing that. I mean, you have to sort of put up with it to some degree in order just to listen to another person. Because, like, a good percentage of what they might say might just be super critical and negative and, you know, not very nice stuff. And, you know, there's no shortage of nice people, really, in the world. When you actually look around and you actually think about it and you actually focus on the way that most people are pretty positive, pretty nice people. And it's good to remember that not everyone is quite as bad as you think sometimes. I know it's easy to think like that if you're feeling negative yourself or you're surrounded by negative people. But there are some good ones out there. So do remind yourself, don't stress yourself out too much. Thinking about the people that are not, you know, acting like you would like them to. It's okay. Just walk away from them. Take as much time as you need and just go make yourself happier somewhere else. You're better off to do it, and you can go as far as you need to go. You can take as long as you need to take to sort of reinvigorate your own positivity. But it will come back eventually if you take the time and you get away from those critical, negative, horrible people. Just stay away from them. You're better off. And like I said, there's plenty of nice people out there as well. So you've got to really think about how much attention you want to give to the negative, because you've got attention, which is it's like a currency, isn't it? You've got so much attention, you've got so much energy, you've got so much of your own personal focus, and you've got to choose how to ration that out and where to put it and in what amount at any given time. So it's like sitting at the table in a casino, and then they say place your bets, and you take the chips you have and you put them on all the places you think are going to be the best bets that are going to give you the best reward back. Now it's a little bit like that, and there is a little bit of you win some, you lose some, but the safer the bets that you place with your time, your attention, your energy, the more reward that you're going to see come back to you. And if we're going to use that metaphor of winning and losing, right, I want to see you win, and I want to see me win too. I want to see more people winning, and you know, just enjoying your lives for a change, because I know it's just can be relentless in how hard it seems on a daily basis just to do the most average things that you would think everybody's doing and seem so incredibly normal. Even just doing that can be very, very hard to find the motivation to actually keep you going. But the better sort of bets that you place, the bigger the reward you get back, and the more motivation you're going to have to continue, realizing that you can actually feel good about yourself and live the kind of life that you want to live. Alright, so nearly home now. Talk to you again in a bit. Alright, vlog. Let's show you a bit of food content. I know you like it. I know you like it. Here's what I'm cooking, right? I got some rice. So in that pan, you got rice. Then you got 2 stock cubes. 2, 1, 2. That's 2. Okay. We don't need to do all that. But it's kind of fun, isn't it? I like doing it. Oh, it's like dancing. So we got rice, sugar, spice, rice, and everything nice. Oh God, I've gone crazy again. Okay, so how many times am I going to have to say this? Right. So I've got rice. Then what we're going to do with that is we're going to go mackerel fillets in a Thai green style curry sauce. Beautiful. If you like fish, je ne sais quoi. Le poupou. I don't know what this means. Okay. I'm both crazy and offensive at the moment. It's not a great combination, is it? Anyway, so you got rice, mackerel fillets, and then mushy peas. Oh yeah. Oh baby. What a combo. And then, just to finish it all off, wait until you see this. We got another one of those pies. Oh God, in the oven. Oh God, steamy, steamy. Oh my God, it's so steamy. Okay, it's too steamy. Anyway, look. Fray Bentos. Pie. And it is the steak and kidney variety. Now, there's 2. That's 2. 1, 2. There's 2 sort of new, quote unquote, or different Fray Bentos pies that I saw in Poundland. I'm going to have to try them. Next time I get paid, I'm going to go grab, like, I don't know, 10 of them and then stick them on the shelf. So, and then, what else? Oh yeah, so I think from now on, every payday, I'm going to do like a smallish sort of Asda order. And then stock it up over there. So that currently is the shelving unit of random things, mostly clothes, but also towels and bed sheets and stuff like that. But if you look closely, the bottom 2 units, they are basically empty. There's some toilet paper in one of them, but I can move that. So I'm thinking those 2 shelves, the 2 bottom ones on the far side of the room, they're going to be like the reserve stocks for the food, basically. And so there's 3 shelves in this room. So I'll show you what's going on. This shelf here has got this stuff on it. So down here, we've got chili. We've got stag chili. We've got mackerel. We've got beef stew. We've basically got a bunch of different stuff that's all food. This one, we've got meatballs, chicken meatballs in tomato sauce, chicken meatballs in gravy, more chicken meatballs. Well, yeah, basically all I can see from that one is chicken meatballs, but I'm sure there's more stuff behind it. And then this one, we got corned beef, we got burgers, we got spaghetti carbonara, and we've got mussels, loads of mussels. And then this one, we got tuna, loads and loads of tuna. Then we got chicken balti. Then we got beef stew. And then we got some chopped tomatoes. And then this one we got some beans. So that's that shelf. So that's shelf number 2. Shelf number 3 right now is empty. But I'm thinking about putting like the reserves to the reserves on shelf number 3. But then if we look at shelf number 1, this is where you got everything. So you got big bags of rice. Bottom 2 shelves are all just the big bags of rice. As much rice as you could possibly get. Next one up, more rice again. Next one, we got lentils, chicken curry,
beef stew, minced beef and onions in gravy. We've got hot dogs. Go up again. We got chicken and a white sauce on this one. We got hearty red lentil soup. We got chicken korma, chicken vindaloo. And then this one, we got mackerel fillets, all different varieties of mackerel fillets. And if you look in the back of there, we've got loads more of those Frey Bentos pies. And then we've got some hearty red lentil soup. So you can see this shelf is very, very full from top to bottom. And then there's even more. This here is all mushy peas. And behind it is some other stuff. I think that's hot dogs and tomato soup. And then on top, we got loads of baked beans. Then we got loads of coffee. And then that's about it. So basically, I don't know how long this food is going to last for. But it's going to be quite a fucking long time. So I don't really need to buy food. Now, if I feel like getting some fresh food and bringing it in and cooking it, something a bit different at the start of the month. Well, not the start of the month, but the start of like the start of the month that follows after payday. That's when I'll get fresher stuff from the supermarket and then cook that from fresh. But then, if and when the money runs out, then I've got all this food on the shelves that I can just cook up. So there'll always be rice to go with something, and there's loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of options, as you can see. So it's not all that bad, actually. It's pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied with that. And people can say, tinned food is whatever. So it's only for the part of the month when the money is getting less and less and less. And then that's what I do, is I get that stuff. But I'm thinking those two could be like, even to take it even further, those two shelves could be like the fresh tinned shelves. And then on the shelf behind the camera here, that's empty, every month I could get even a little bit more stuff and shove that all on the shelves there at the bottom. So that would be like the even long lasting stuff. Which, how much more long lasting can you get than the long lasting tins of canned food? I mean, can you get more long lasting than that? I mean, if you can, I'm going to try. So, yeah, this is what I'm dealing with now. I'm in the bunker, and it's pretty dope at the moment. I actually really like it in here. I'm spending basically all my time in the house in this one room. Obviously, apart from going to the kitchen, going to the bathroom and stuff, and if I don't move house, then I'm going to have to re-figure out like what to do with those rooms upstairs. I mean, there's a good chance that if I do want to continue living here and keep further developing like what's going on in this house, I guess at some point I'm going to have to start thinking about what I actually want to do with the extra rooms upstairs that would make it worthwhile to stay here in this area. Now, I don't want to stay here right now. I'm deciding to, out of pure laziness and unwillingness to embrace a change like that because of everything that comes along with it. And it's a complete nightmare, So it's not ideal, that way of doing things, like just selling up, packing everything up, moving out of this place, moving into a new place, etc., etc., etc. It takes so much work, and I'm okay with doing work, that's not an issue. And I'd be okay with doing that. But I guess there's still a tiny part of me that thinks I should continue to commit to my commitment that I made when I decided that I was going to live here. I mean, that was what I decided I was going to do. So when I moved here, I was like, okay, now I live here. I'm going to do everything I can to make this place that I'm living as good as I can. I'm going to do everything I can to make it better and better and better. And I tried 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 until eventually I gave up and I said, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. I want to go. And that's where I am now. That's where I've been for a while, is just thinking, I want to go. And it literally could be anywhere apart from here. And who knows if I'm making the right decision, you know? I don't know. But I don't see exactly what could happen here in this place that could make it that much better, that would make me think twice about getting up and going. I mean, it would have to be beyond belief, and it's just not on the cards for me. What is on the cards, and I can see it so clearly, is me getting out of here and going. Finding a new place, changing my life all again, starting again, another fresh start, and giving myself what I want. And that fresh start for me is so addictive that it's basically impossible to just stop myself from getting up and going and getting out of a place and going somewhere else when I feel like I want to do something more. I want to do something better. I want to get away. I mean, if I could actually realistically make the improvements here, there is a chance that I could keep this place as like a backup sort of place. But this is not ideal as like a number one place to be all the time, every day. It's just not for me. It's not the kind of place I like. It's not the kind of people I like. What is going on around here is all situations that are just not for me. And it's all what I was saying earlier when I was talking about how there's no culture, there's no charm, there's no charisma, there's no character, there's nothing great that's going on. And I really, really, really want to see more and more great things going on around me for my life, and coming across people who have the same ambitions, have the same drive, have the same goal, and want to make things happen. They want to change the world, they want to change their world, and they want to make things better every single day, just like I do. And if I'm not surrounded by people like that, and if they're not around me in my closest proximity, then I really have to question, why am I here? And maybe it's worth checking out of this place and heading off to somewhere much better, because there's so many places that I know of that are so much better, and if I can afford to get up and go, why am I stopping myself from doing what I really want to do? That's the place where I am now. I'm thinking about that all the time, as you can see, because I'm talking about it all the time. Anyway, so I got to go take this pie out of the oven. All right, so here's what I got. Mackerel with rice and mushy peas and a pie. I have to say, the rice is so much tastier after you add the stock cubes. It really, really, really adds to the flavour and makes it really nice. Highly recommend. Alright, that's going to be the video for today. I made way too long the first clip. It's like 45 minutes long. I mean, and then once I added everything else on, I mean, I've done enough already. It's only 5:27 p.m. So the day is still fairly young. I mean, there's a lot of time left that I could carry on talking, but I want to get this thing edited, so I'm going to finish it early today. I might regret that, and I might want to film more, but if I want to film more, I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to start tomorrow's video early and keep in tonight's extra footage added on to tomorrow's regular footage. So, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to do that, right? I need to do this edit. It's going to be long. So, going to get on with it. Thanks for watching. See you later. Cheers, folks. Bye.